Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toast and Tea Book Club. We're here to talk books and probably complain about bad writing. And as we get into this final uh, book of the Infernal Devices series, I do want to specify I do enjoy these books. I am making fun of them a lot, but I do enjoy them, and they are worth a read because the context, the new, more nuanced context, does provide a lot of uh, some of the things make a bit more sense in context. I guess what I'm trying to say, I guess.
What's the fun in not roasting a book every once in a while?
I mean, dude, like this entire podcast spawned off of me badly explaining, the things that happened in my books to you on the way to hockey. So like,
Which just makes it even better. Just the memory of that and just going through like, no, we just gotta need to record these at this point.
I think it was it this book series specifically that like really solidified that we need to do this. Like, our
I think it was this one and A Court of Thorns and Roses.
yeah.
Those were the two that it was just like, no, we just need to record this because we had such funny banter back and forth.
And I'm getting even more this time because like that was just off memory from listening to it, that week or so. But this I have the whole script written up, so like we're getting even more out of it. All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the Clockwork Princess, the third and final book in the Infernal Devices series, the prequel series from of course I'm forgetting the name of the author at this point. I should probably have that written down. Um,
I feel like we mentioned them at the very first podcast, and now I
yeah,
can't think of what their name is.
yeah. So this is the prequel series from Cassandra Clare, in her Shadowhunters universe, which includes, what was this? One,
Wasn't it like
two, three,
18 books?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 series. It looks like because you got
Ooh.
the six immortal instruments. We got the three infernal devices. We got three dark artifices. We got three last hours. We got one wicked powers. We got two eldest curses, and then we also have companion books.
This is pretty good,
Yeah.
honestly.
All right.
Oh, yeah, didn't do it.
Into
I
it.
need to know where it's going.
All right. So last we left off, um, Jem and Tessa, uh, got married. Was it married or was it? I think they just, yeah,
Engaged.
they got engaged. So that's all good. And then Will, discovered his curse was fake, and now he's a little baby sad boy. Um, uh, that's all good. And then
Because
and the
who could
last
have
of the
foreseen?
and then also Will's sister, the younger sister, the one that didn't die, shows up to the institute. But cutting away from all of that, this this third book starts out uh, about 60 years before, in the past, back to a character I'm not sure we've actually talked about before. Someone named Aloysius Starkweather.
Oh,
They are they're a more senior actually no, we did talk about them. They're the ones who had the collection of downworlder body parts. Um
yes, that's right.
yeah.
The human collector. Yes.
Um the one that I don't know if I mentioned this, vaguely thought they recognized Tessa for some reason. Um
Oh boy.
we'll get into why. So we cut back. There is this scene where Aloysius is with his granddaughter, Adele Starkweather, and
Hmm.
who's set to receive her first mark. The marks are basically, Shadowhunters can like have these marks engraved in their skin, and they basically unlock or like solidify a set of their divine power.
Okay.
It's what makes a shadow hunt. What makes a Nephilim into a shadow hunter, basically. Um,
Hmm.
uh, and so Adele is going to receive her first strengthening rune, because she's been fragile from birth, kind of thing. Um,
Okay.
so this is like a big brand thing. Although it all falls apart because it turns out Adele's body can't handle the rune and she dies. That's because that's the other thing about the runes. If you try to put a rune in someone who's not a Nephilim, it will kill them.
Okay.
Yeah, they are apparently very taxing to be put in, and so if you're not, your body isn't strong enough, it will just kill you. I also will kill downworlders and demons if you try to put them in them.
It'll just kill everyone. Got it.
Yeah, it's like an exclusive club for strengthening for magic runes.
Okay, and I'm trying to remember. One of the boys has one, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Or am I remembering?
You'll know. Actually, all of the shadow hunters we met so far have runes on them.
Yes.
I
Okay.
Will and Gem have several. Will and Gem specifically have a Parapatai rune, which is their super duper brotherly bond one.
Ah,
Uh,
yes.
the
Their
the
brotherly bond.
the entirely platonic rune that they share.
Totally platonic.
Yeah. Uh, so we get that little scene where Adele dies, and that's tragic because we know why Aloysius is kind of like not all there because this is awful.
And it's why he set fire to the rain.
uh, cut back to present day. We get like a quick succession of things happening. First, we cut to Tessa trying on her wedding dress. Then we cut to Cecily trying to convince Will to write to their parents because that's part of why she came, was because she was upset that Will, just abandoned, their parents. And so she challenges him to a bet where if she can throw out beats him in a knife throwing contest, that he'll write them. And she's been practicing in secret, so of course she wins. But then Will pulls a big brain and says, I said I'll write them. I never said I sent this. I never said I send it.
Ugh. Will. You've already. Why is he so like, no, I won't at this point? If he now knows
Because
the curse was never
he's
real.
embarrassed. He spent the last I want to say he spent the last 7 years treating his parents like dirt because he wanted to keep them away. And now
Well,
he's embarrassed because
weren't they in the room when he was quote unquote cursed?
no, only his dead sister was.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll give him slight leeway on this. Slight.
Yeah. Then we cut to Sophie, who is currently avoiding Gideon because she is embarrassed and thinks that this relationship isn't going to go anywhere because she's just a mundane. So, yeah. Sophie's having self-confidence issues as per usual.
No, my girl.
And then, to bring it all together, Gabriel, Gideon's brother, shows up and tells everyone that his father Benedict turned into a demon worm as the last stage of his demon pox. And then he attacked Gabriel before Gabriel managed to escape. And so Gabriel came to the Institute for help to deal with his father.
Okay. What's the spelling of worm? I have to. Which worm are we talking? Are we talking the dragon, or are we talking just he is now a worm?
Let's see. WORM. It is a earthworm.
No, this is better. I like this even more.
Yeah. A giant demon worm is what he turned into. So Will, Jim, Gabriel, Gideon, Henry, Charlotte, Cecily, and Tessa, the whole gang, go to the Lightwood estate where they find Tatiana Blackthorn, who I forgot to mention last book, is actually used to be a Lightwood before she was married. So that's why Gideon and Gabriel were so upset that Will read her diary. It was actually that was their sister.
Ooh.
Which makes more sense now that I think about it.
Huh, okay.
So Tatiana's there, who's hysterical because she came to visit her father and with her husband, and then the demon worm just snatched her husband and ran inside.
Why am I imagining it having tiny little arms and it just grabbed him and just okay, so the worm has now, it's either that or it's the horrific, like the worms in the Peter Jackson King Kong, and it's just like
So the group go inside, find Benedict, a fight ensues. Benedict is apparently overpowering everyone despite being a newborn demon, so that's great. Until Cecily decides to jump down from a tree, stab Benedict in the head, and that distraction gives Gabriel an opening that he can shoot an arrow straight through his father's head. Finishing the fight. So
all right.
So Will starts going off on Cecily for doing something dangerous, but is cut off by Gabriel praising her for her bravery. Because that's how these things start, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Gabriel is a little bit upset because he did just kill his father, and like he was the younger brother, so he was kind of like shielded a little bit from everything that was going on with him.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit, yeah. They decide to explore the rest of the house. In Benedict's study, they find another demon, kill him, and then on the wall there is a inscription that says, "The infernal devices are without pity. The infernal devices are without regret. The infernal devices are without number. The infernal devices will never stop coming."
Oh.
We don't know what that means yet. Um, Charlotte
Well, all
then
right then.
Charlotte then invites Gabriel to stay at the institute because she doesn't want him staying in the house of a dead man, kind of thing. Um, we get back to the institute. We cut to Sophie bringing Gideon a tray of scones because apparently he ordered some. She finds him asleep. He wakes up. They start making out because even though Sophie like kind of wants to put distance, like she still finds him really hot and wants to be with him.
You're
Until
just so hot that even though I would like to, have some distance because I'm scared about my self-consciousness, I'm still down to make out.
But until they fall off the bed, because of course they do, and Sophie sees a whole pile of scones underneath Gideon's bed. Apparently he was not eating the scones she was bringing him. He just wanted an excuse to see her. She yells at him.
Wasteful.
It's wasteful. That's exactly what she yells at him about.
Just getting scone. That's how you get rats.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so she yells at him for being so wasteful. Like it's cute that a little bit that he was just trying to get her to have an excuse to see her, but at the same time, don't waste food like that. Don't make someone do work to see you. Yeah, it's a little bit bad. Then we cut to Will discovering that Jem has been taking extra doses of the Yin Fen, which is that demon poison. Because basically, Jem explains he doesn't want to waste the little time he has left feeling bad while trying to be with Tessa. Like he wants to give Tessa his best while he's still alive. So he's taking extra so he can be like on top of his game and not like just like doubling over in pain every couple hours because he needs more of it.
Poison.
Yep. Will understands, goes to get more for him. He's like, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. She deserves that. Will returns later, and tells Tessa that someone had apparently bought up the entire supply of Yin Fen in the entire country. So the shortage that was happening last book has now gotten to the point where there is no Yin Fen anywhere in the country anymore.
Man, wait, what year is it that this book takes place in?
1878.
Oh man, I was really hoping it was like 1820s and I could make a joke about, how the 20s are, people are buying up all the toilet paper, people are buying up,
So the two of them go to Magnus, hoping that Magnus will be able to help them. Where they are greeted by Woosley Scott, because Magnus is not living with Camille anymore, because Camille is being a vampire, an immortal vampire, and is like just on vacation forever. And also is a little upset that Magnus was being pouty that she had her dalliances on vacation. Yeah. Yes, so Magnus is currently sleeping on Woosley's couch. After explaining the situation, Woosley comments on how Will would gain Tessa after Jem's death. Just
I'm sorry.
Just out in the open, he was like, that's interesting that you would mention that Will's gonna die soon and how this woman that you clearly love is would be available after that. Will gets pissed off, but Magnus drags him into another room. And then left in the room with Tessa, Woosley comments that it's fairly obvious how much Tessa actually likes Will as well. And I believe at this point Tessa picks up like a fire poker, is like not like actively threatening him, but more of like a playful like you stop that kind of thing.
Yes, because I also am very playful by grabbing a sharp poker.
Yeah.
Playfully threatening someone with it. This
All
is
right.
the relationship I have with people.
Magnus returns with Will, says that he'll call on them if he finds anything to help Jem.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Consul Wayland, Consul being the kind of like the speaker of the clave, arrives and proceeds to berate Charlotte for acting without consulting the clave with the Lightwood situation. Um, uh, he then takes Gideon Gabriel, telling Charlotte that they need to be interviewed by the Silent Brothers to figure out what happened. Instead, he takes them to a club, and tries to get them to spy on Charlotte for him because he wants Charlotte to not be the leader of the Institute anymore because he's sexist, and also has a better candidate, I think. He thinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the true motivator of so many books, sexism.
Basically, he says, if you spy on her for me and give me something that can get her like kicked out, or they can give if you give me ammunition to get her removed, then I will ensure that your entire father's estate will be given to you guys, because otherwise it would be seized by the clave because of his father's demon involvement. Yeah. The two of them agree, but intend to write him just irrelevant bullshit, trying to get him to lay off because they don't really want to betray Charlotte like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we get,
because they're good boys.
We get back to the Institute. Gabriel offers to train Cecily, as the two of them seem to enjoy each other's company. Then Will decides to be fun police and tells Gabriel to not take advantage of his sister. And Cecily
Will, you of all people are being the fun police, huh?
Yeah, and then Cecily gets upset with Will for good reason. Mortmain then sends a letter to the Institute informing that he's the one who bought up all of the Yin Fen, and all future shipments. So there will not be any more Yin Fen available in the country for longer than Jem will be alive.
Well,
basically, and then he says he'll exchange all of it for Tessa, because that's a fair trade, right?
Why do you want the girl?
The same reason he wanted her the last two books, because that's his designer baby bride.
It's so gross. Ew.
It really is gross, but I don't think anyone's claiming Mortmain's not gross.
You know that there is some fan website somewhere of someone being like, "Nah, he was right." There's someone out there.
With that letter, Mortmain included a small packet of Yin Fen as like a as a peace offering, or as a gesture of goodwill. Tessa, being emotional, decides, you know what, I will give myself up because I care more about Jem than anything else. Jem is not gonna let that happen, and out of spite, throws that packet of Yin Fen into the fire. To which Will grabs it out of the fire, burning his hand, and Tessa storms out because Jem's being dumb.
All right. I'm following.
Will convinces Jem to take the slightly burned Yin Fen, while Charlotte applies burn salve to Will's hand. Tessa
totally platonic.
Tessa's feeling guilty because everything that's happened is because of her. She feels that if she wasn't involved in their lives, then Jem would never have any issues with Yin Fen, or getting it. So
getting it. I was gonna say, honey, that's
not. When she gets a note, she gets a note that is attached to a cat. So the thing is, this has not come up before. I just hasn't been important enough to note. Jem has a cat named Church. He got Church from basically when they took out the Dark Sisters, there was a cat there, and not wanting it to just be abandoned, Jem adopted it. The thing is, Church is not just any cat. Church was a resurrected cat, so it's immortal.
Of course it is.
It's an immortal cat that only likes Jem. And
now Tessa,
probably. So Church brings Tessa a message that asking her to meet Jem in a music room. Jem plays her a song that he wrote for her, only her, because if you remember back at the beginning of the first book, Jem plays the violin. It's also something that hasn't come up really since.
Okay.
And basically says, because his life will be cut even shorter because he's out of demon poison, he doesn't want to wait anymore and wants to get married the next day. And Tessa's like, yeah, let's do that. I don't want to wait either. So
even though I was just very mad at you.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So then we cut to Gideon and Gabriel are going through Charlotte's correspondence, specifically so they can avoid accidentally telling the console something important. That's their intention, at least. Sophie discovers them doing this.
Oh no.
However, they manage to explain it, and also Sophie reads the letter they were intending to send and understands the plan and is like, "All right, well, I'll help you with this because this is important." So Sophie, for once in this entire series, not miscommunication. There's no miscommunication going on. Everyone understands what's going on. Everyone explains everything.
It's a miracle.
Okay. The next morning, Jem and Tess announce their imminent marriage to some minor protest saying that they'll need the Clay's approval, to which Jem says he just does not care. And
fair.
They get interrupted by a carriage arriving at the institute. Then Will does a thing. As they're moving towards the entrance to see who this carriage is, Will pulls Tessa aside and tells her that he still loves her and loves her more than every day for the last few months.
This is not the time.
It's not the time. And then he just leaves to go fetch Cyril and the other staff.
Why? I get that this happens in everything, right? Oh, you're about to be married. I better choose this moment right now to tell you because that's not going to be awful for you. That's not going to be the worst timing ever. It's in everything, and I think it rubs me through a little bit even now because I've been getting into listening to Reddit stories, and the fact that this happens in real life too is just
yeah.
No, it's selfish. Stop it. Don't. No. Ugh.
So outside, Jessamine is being brought back. Basically, the Silent Brothers have decided that she can't cause any more harm and that she is being released back into Charlotte's care.
Okay.
So there's a Silent Brothers with them. As the carriage stops, another one just comes Tokyo drifting out behind it. And a bunch of automatons jump out, along with Mrs. Black, the warlock who was dead, supposedly.
Yeah, that was the one that had Tess in the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mrs. Black and Mrs. Dark were the ones in the beginning, and then they killed Mrs. Dark, and then they killed Mrs. Black, and now Mrs. Black is back.
Back again.
A fight ensues, and Mrs. Black kidnaps Tessa. Will arrives with Cyril and the other staff, and then jumps into the fray. Jem is injured, as you'd expect, and then is still trying to chase down Mrs. Black. Jessamine gets stabbed by because she can't be she has to be here just to deliver a message, and so she managed to tell Will before she dies that Mortmain is in Idris. Idris being the secret city where the Shadowhunters live. It's
isn't
quite
that... Why is it's Iblis. That's why I was like, isn't that the name of the fire demon in Sonic 06?
No. Yeah. So Mortmain is in Idris, and then Jessamine dies. Mrs. Black escapes with Tessa, and Jem blacks out. Cecily overheard Jessamine's last words, and then puts two and two together with her big brain that Idris is actually referring to a mountain near where their family lived in Wales called Caldair Idris. And then
yes, it's clear now. This place that they're taking him, Idris. It's just you add a few more words before Idris. I suddenly know it is because it's fucking remote.
It's explained a little better because it's come up a couple times in the series that Idris is this super secret only Shadowhunters can be there kind of city. It's where the Mortal Mirror is, that lake that angels keep popping out of.
Yeah.
So it makes a little sense that there's no way that Mortmain could be there. So they present their theory to Charlotte. Charlotte calls on the consul, who listens to their theory and then refuses to send anyone after Tessa because he's I don't know. You have no proof where she is, and she's not Nephilim, so I don't care. Yeah, the console I think just really has it out for Charlotte and will do anything to get back at her, kind of thing.
Can't have a woman in power.
No, absolutely not. Seeing the carriage, seeing all the carnage caused by the attack, the console convinces Gabriel specifically to actually spy on Charlotte. So Gideon is not, but Gabriel is thinking about actually spying on Charlotte. Will calls Magnus to the Institute to help Jem, who is currently very much dying because of his injuries and also out of demon poison. Magnus says there's nothing he can do to heal him. But then Magnus also asks if Jem knows that Will loves Tessa. And Will says he's trying to keep it hidden, but he didn't want to hurt Jem. Magnus then uses some of his magic to remove Jem's pain for a bit, so that he can say goodbyes. Say his goodbyes. Jem has apparently been awake this whole time, and then asks immediately what Will meant by he loves Tessa. Will, thinking that Jem will despise him anyway, tells Jem how he feels about Tessa and how he learned the truth when he learned the truth about his curse. He had gone to ask her to be with him, but it's just the timing was awful. And Jem convinces Will to go after Tessa, and then just he gives what's most important is Tessa. Go after her, save her. I don't care if I die. Will reluctantly leaves Jem's side. Reluctantly leaves Jem's side.
Platonic.
On the way to cut to the carriage with Mrs. Black and Tessa. On the way to Mortmain's lair, Mrs. Black explains that Mortmain resurrected her using the Book of the White. So
resurrection is now confirmed to be a thing in this season.
It is. I mean, there's resurrection and there's necromancy. So I don't know. We'll see. Additionally, she reveals that not only is she resurrected, she's also now in a perfect automaton body. She's not flesh and blood.
Okay, so this is like a cyborg situation.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Tess decides that she doesn't want to live in this world anymore and throws herself out the carriage to off a cliff.
Well,
she injures herself before she nearly falls to her death off a cliff when her Clockwork Angel deploys and saves her. Now, this is something that hasn't come up before because it hasn't really been important until now. This entire time, the series is named after this. Tessa has worn a Clockwork Angel pendant around her neck for the entirety of this series. It has been extremely important. It's the last thing she got from her mother, and it's always been there. And it's done a couple things before. It's saved her once or twice, but it hasn't super affected the story, so I haven't brought it up. But now it becomes actually important.
All right.
But the important thing you should know is that the Clockwork Angel, you can't wind it, but it's always ticking like there's gears inside.
Okay.
So the Clockwork Angel pulls itself off her neck, turns into a full-size Clockwork Angel, grabs her and takes her to safety.
What? Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it can do that.
Okay, well, what are the parameters of it going off? Because if it's just her life being in danger, she's been in peril so many times already in this series.
It will be explained. A couple of times the Clockwork Angel did help, but it was I didn't bring it up because it was mostly her ingenuity that saved her. So I didn't want to diminish Tessa's role in it, kind of thing.
Okay.
So during the fall, though, she does lose the pendant that Jem gave her.
Of course she does.
Yeah. Charlotte discovers that Will has left and starts scheming because she's like, you know what? Things are already in motion. You need to protect my kids, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And sends everyone to do some pre-scheming tasks. Swiftly, he sends Giddy and Sophie to the library. He sends Gabriel and Cecily to get supplies. At the shop, the shopkeeper recognizes Gabriel and gives him a package for his father. Gideon opens it. It doesn't actually say what's in it, but he does say that Gideon is so disgusted by it that he throws the shopkeep out the window. So something that his father would have like ordered, I guess, just really put Gabriel off.
Okay.
And then the last thing is Magnus and Henry start working on Henry's latest invention, an actual literal teleporter. I'm not sure if I've been clear about this like up until now. Henry is a genius inventor. Like, he has invented all sorts of things from portable sunlight to use against vampires, a literal EMP charge to take out automatons. Like, he's invented like fireworks and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy the things this man's invented.
Okay.
Now he's working on a literally like you think of where you want to go and it takes you there kind of thing. Yeah. We cut back. Yeah. No, Henry is apparently some like 100 years advanced kind of like magical artificer.
Okay.
We cut back to Will, who is currently riding north trying to get to Caldea Idris. Just happens to find the pendant that Tessa lost.
Of course he did.
Ah, yes. She must have left this for me to make sure I was on the right path.
Oh no. You know, it would be the smart thing.
Yeah, it would be. Jem is very much dying. Charlotte gives him the very last of the yin ven that they have. And then Jem decides, you know what? This is it. Charlotte needs to stop putting effort into him and needs to start focusing on saving Tessa and helping Will.
Mm-hmm.
And so Charlotte calls for the Silent Brothers to, like, you know, be there to help him die, basically.
Yikes, okay.
Yeah. Will stops for the night to rest his horse. And then while he's eating, he's struck by a sudden pain as his parapatai bond snaps and the rune for his parapatai starts bleeding. And so literally we cut away and Jem has died. That's great.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you kill Jem? He did nothing wrong. This whole series, he's just basically been a plot point to move Will into being a better person.
He really has been. Yeah, he really has been. Suddenly, for no reason, well, not for a reason, but just it happens, a pack of werewolves attack Will, blaming the Shadow Hunters for the spread of the Yin Fen among the werewolves. I don't know how they came to that conclusion. Because you remember, the werewolves were all using Yin Fen to work through the night for Mortmain. But for some reason, they're blaming the Shadow Hunters for that.
Clearly, it's their fault.
Yeah. Will fights them off and then is able to get some sleep, so that's fine. Tessa is hiding in a just like a rundown hut. The automatons arrive and she successfully tricks them because the hut used to belong to someone, so she uses the soul of the hut in order to turn into that woman.
Wait.
Don't you remember?
No, that's right. Because she just needs an item of the person's. For some reason, my brain was going, doesn't she need, like, blood or body from the person?
Nope. She needs something that was owned by that person.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Although Mrs. Black sees through this guise because she's still wearing the Clockwork Angel pendant. And so Mrs. Black spots that as like, ha, I knew it was you. And then Tessa's captured again.
Oh dear, okay.
Tessa wakes up in a cave in Caldea Idris, trapped by an invisible barrier. Mortmain appears and explains the story of Tessa's birth because he wants to. Because now
it's plot relevant.
We're running out of time and we need to get this exposition out there. So apparently Tessa's mother was what's his name? Tessa's mother was Aloysius Starkweather's granddaughter. Except because the Fae were being the Fae, they swapped her at birth with a changeling.
This is the most Victorian London thing I've ever heard.
So because of that, the reason why Adele grew up frail was because she was a changeling her whole life. And the reason why the Marks killed her is because she wasn't a shadow hunter, so she couldn't take the marks. Yeah. So Tessa's mother grew up in another family, never knowing that she was Nephilim. So because of that, she never received any runes herself.
Mm-hmm.
Then, an Eidolon demon disguised itself as Tessa's father, creating Tessa. But apparently, what kills half Nephilim, half demon children is the marks, not the angel biology. It's the marks. It's the marks that kill the demon biology. So Tessa is half Nephilim, half demon.
I'm shocked. Shocked. I never could have foreseen that this would happen.
Yeah, and then apparently to ensure that his designer baby actually came to term, Mortmain through because Mortmain employed Tessa's father, and so through his father gave Tessa's mom the Clockwork Angel pendant to protect her for the pregnancy. Because apparently that Clockwork Angel pendant is not just like some wonder of technology. It's an actual soul vessel that contains part of an angel's soul.
All right.
Yeah.
What angel? Who is it?
It's the angel Ethereal is his name.
Okay.
Not one of the named angels in the Bible. A shadow hunter original.
We've got our first OC angel.
Although apparently it's important because Ethereal does appear in at least 2 other series of this author's.
You know what? I'm proud of them. Get some OG angels up in here.
And then also Mortmain then explains that Tessa's entire purpose is to breed a new race of half-demon shadow hunters to be his ultimate new race of
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going this route.
Yeah, we absolutely are. Then in exchange for an extra package of demon poison to be sent to Jem, because of course Tessa doesn't know that Jem's dead already, Mortmain asks Tessa to change into Mortmain's father in order to pull some information from him, because it just wasn't passed on before he died, and because Tessa gets the memories when she transforms. So Tessa transforms into his father, and then before she realizes what's happening, and she unawarely writes down the formula for binding demon energies to automatons. Because remember, all the way back in book 1, Mortmain stole the Pyxis, the thing that contains all the demons that the Shadow Hunters have been capturing over the years.
Yep.
So that's
going. Oh boy.
Charlotte, that we're coming back to the Institute. Charlotte calls Gabriel into her office. Gabriel thinks, oh no, she's discovered that I'm betraying her. Instead, she's like, hey, I want to make sure that you know that your grief over your father is not forgotten in all the things that are going on right now. You are not unseen and your pain is not unnoticed just because there's so much else going on right now. And so he's like,
welcome to the guilt.
It's like, oh no, this person is actually being really nice to me and I'm betraying her. Like, this sucks. Charlotte then calls a meeting to discuss the game plan. Gideon reveals the coercion from the console, but that they never revealed anything. And then Gabriel speaks up like, there was a second round of coercion. Although I did write something, but I never sent it. I have the letter right here, and I never actually sent the console any information. So I guess Gabriel's off the hook, kind of. Yeah. So Charlotte is like, all right, I understand why you do that. But then you know what? If we're not gonna care about the console, I'm gonna go over the console's head. I'm gonna write letters to every single shadow hunter in the country and ask them for help. Normally, she would have to ask the console for permission to ask everyone for help, but she's gonna just write them directly. She's gonna add them all.
Just CC all.
Yeah. While they're assessing what strength they have, Gideon, because they're saying like, okay, we got a couple shadow hunters. Like, is this gonna be enough? And they speak up. Gideon speaks up like, hey, Sophie is actually like very talented and powerful, and like we've been training, and she's accelerated. She's become like really powerful just in the little training that we've done. And also like mentions that Sophie would be a great candidate for ascension because if going back to the previous book, they explained if a mortal drinks from the mortal cup, they become a shadow hunter. So there's a way to turn mundanes into shadow hunters, which they want to do with Sophie because one apparently Sophie is actually really interested in that, but didn't think that she was worthy, kind of thing, because she has
because
self-esteem
of course
issues.
she didn't.
Yeah,
because she has the most self-esteem issues. We have
and
to
then
give her the most.
Gideon, being big brain like he is, blurts out that of course she should ascend because of course she has to ascend. How else would he marry her?
Just get it out in the open there, man.
Yeah.
Just announce your intentions.
Cecily, then the only one thinking clearly, clears the room except for to give Gideon and Sophie space. In that privacy, Gideon stumbles over a lot of words, and then finally properly proposes, and they're good to go.
It's a shame that one of them's probably gonna die in this next battle. This is my guess.
Cut back to Tessa. Tessa is awoken by Mortmain, who shows her his new and improved automaton, one that is directly piloted by a demon soul, and shows her that the ruined weapons that the Shadowhunters use just don't work on these things. They break immediately upon touching the new demon powered automatons.
Okay.
So yeah, these things are a real threat. Tessa tries to reason with Mortmain, but instead he's like, "All right, no, I'm gonna have you instead watch me field test my automatons on this nearby village." So like they're overlooking like there's this village by the mountain that is currently being besieged by the automatons.
Of course it is.
Will happens to be in that village. He tries to fight the automatons, but his ruined weapons are useless. He manages to escape and then follows the automatons back into the mountain. So to try and get to Tessa.
Mm-hmm.
Tessa now like thinking, okay, so this Clockwork Angel is going to protect me and like save me, but I need to deny myself. I need to be able to deny myself to Mortmain. So she tries to break the angel in order to kill herself. That attempt fails, but the angel inside appears and talks to her. And while it understands Tessa's desire, says it cannot help her do this. So she's out of luck there. Will sneaks into Caldeatris, finds Tess, and charges straight through the invisible barrier, trapping himself inside with her.
We never said he was the smartest lad.
Will then shows Tessa his bleeding parapetire rune, proving that Gem is dead. They grieve for a bit, and then they sleep together.
I'm sorry. In the villain's base? We don't even... Wait, also, hold on. How explicitly do they sleep together in this? Because I'm asking because this is a YA novel series, you said?
It fades to black, but it is directly said that they start fucking in a cave. And note, Gem has been dead for 12 hours. Will has known this for 12 hours. Tessa has known this for 15 minutes.
The body's not even cold yet. Come on.
Yeah. That's great. Back in London, Henry and Magnus are done with their teleporter, and they present to the Shadowhunters. Charlotte is a bit dejected because no one else showed up. It's just the group they have there, but also 3 silent brothers show up, specifically Brother Enoch, Brother Micah, and Brother Zechariah. They charged into the portal, despite their few numbers, to go and save Tess. Meanwhile, the whole clave is having an emergency meeting to discuss the situation. The council is trying to convince everyone that Charlotte is crazy and needs to be removed. When a large
they do.
When Mortmain's army shows up and starts killing everyone in the meeting. Specifically, the consul gets killed almost immediately. So that's happening. Back in the cave, Magnus walks in on Tessa and Will in varying states of dress. Because they spent the whole night together. The two of them quickly get dressed and fall, and as Magnus dispels the barrier, and gets them out of there. They meet up in the large chamber, in a larger chamber, and then there's fighting with the automatons. The automatons incapacitate Henry and Charlotte, and so Will joins the fight, and that's going kind of rough because these guys are supercharged automatons.
Yeah.
During the battle, Brother Zachariah gets injured, and his hood falls off, revealing that it was in fact Jem the whole time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So apparently what happened, and this will be explained a little bit later, becoming a silent brother kind of puts your body in stasis. So, like, Jem didn't want to die, but wanted to help, still wanted to help. So he thought, okay, what if I become a silent brother, and then I can keep fighting and keep helping, and then, any consequences that happen because of that, so be it. Yeah. So Jem's not dead.
Boy. All right. I was very right. The corpse ain't even cold. It ain't even yet.
Tessa tries to run to him, but gets cut off by an automaton. Magnus heals Henry and Charlotte, and then gathers all the Shadow Hunters to try and use the portal to escape. Mortmain appears. The demon or the automaton handing Tessa over to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then threatens the Shadowhunters with her. Tessa asks Mortmain to spare them. He obliges, saying he'll just make them into slaves and torture them. That'll keep them alive, right? He also reveals the attack on the council meeting, so there won't be any reinforcement. Tessa does this very big brain thing because we keep thinking that she can do smart things, right? And this is one of the things that she decides to do. She decides to use her change ability. She changes into the angel in Independent.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. It's not pretty as she becomes 20 feet tall, and then just grabs Mortmain and crushes him in her hand.
Yeah. Oh.
She just like no diffs him, grabs him, and just crushes him.
Oh. It's so anticlimactic.
A little bit. But then she loses consciousness and changes back as the heavenly power overwhelms her. And then because of that display, the pendant was damaged enough that the angel's soul escapes. Turns out it wasn't just a part of the angel's soul, it was the entire angel's soul. Basically, it's explained a little bit later that the only reason she was able to do that in the first place is because Urethil was protecting her. And if she tried to do that again, she would definitely kill herself. So this is a one-time power-up.
This is a one-time use, so it can't be used later again to get us out of more situations.
As Tessa falls unconscious, all of the automatons just start collapsing because apparently Mortmain, as a failsafe, connected the entire animation, like the spell that animated all the automatons. He connected that to his soul. So if he died, they died too.
That seems like a poorly made failsafe.
It does prevent the automatons from overthrowing him, though, which I think was what he was afraid of.
Yeah, okay, I guess, yeah.
Because now that they have demons in them, they are a bit more sapient.
Huh. Yeah. All right.
So the battle over. The battle over. We're back in London.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel and Cecily are having a conversation about Cecily choosing to stay in the Shadowhunter world. She only came here to get Will, but now she kind of wants to be a Shadowhunter, actually. And so Gabriel and Cecily start kissing.
Nice.
Good.
Great.
Tessa wakes up. Will is apparently just been by her side the entire time, just waiting for her. So that's kind of cute.
Where's her actual fiance? Hold on.
Tessa feels that she's wronged Jem. If it weren't for her,
yes.
No, not because of cheating. She wronged him because if it weren't for her, there would never have been a shortage of demon poison. Will asks Charlotte to let Jem visit one last time because Jem is a silent brother now. He's supposed to be detached from everything.
He's a Jedi now. Okay.
Yeah, he's a Jedi. Charlotte gets Jem to visit one last time so that he can properly say goodbyes. Because normally silent brothers will detach themselves before becoming silent brothers, but Jem didn't get that opportunity.
Okay.
Uh, while they're waiting, the council inquisitor shows up. So this is an entirely new person. But is like kind of like the enforcer for the council. They show up, inform Charlotte that they were able to hold the automatons off until the automatons died when Mortman died. And so most of the Shadow Hunters were able to like survive that attack. Actually, the Inquisitor then asked Charlotte to be the new consul, because Charlotte like showed how proficient she was during this whole thing. To which Charlotte says she'll do it only if she's able to keep running the institute until Will is ready to take over. She wants to give the institute to Will when he's ready. I don't know. I don't know.
No, he's the least like qualified of all of the characters.
I don't know. Jem arrives, and has a conversation with Tessa. Ending with Jem giving his blessing to her and Will.
Okay.
With the caveat that he gets 1 hour with her every year at Blackfriars Bridge. So every year for 1 hour they meet at Blackfriars Bridge where they had their first date, kind of. And he like that's his one sin, I guess.
I get what they're trying to go for.
Yeah.
I understand. But I just no.
So Jem leaves.
This is not the satisfying. No. I refuse. That is not how this relationship ends. What do you mean? Oh, you can have her. I'm sorry. You can have her except 1 day a year. I'm sorry. And Tessa's just like, I live in 1870s. This is fine.
But you'll see, it's not quite over, actually. Okay. So, Jem leaves, Will, and then Tessa calls Will back in, explains Jem's blessing, and then says sleeping together was A-okay because of that blessing.
We're fine. It's not like we felt guilty to begin with.
All right. With the main plot over, we kind of get like some summary of what happens later. Specifically, Tessa recovers, Sophie ascends, and then Charlotte becomes new consul. Apparently, Jessamine is a ghost now. So when she died, she apparently was unfinished. So she's just sticking around. Apparently, as a ghost, she's tasked to protect the institute. She's the one that convinces Will to get over himself and propose to Tessa. Apparently, because like Will was still feeling bad about everything even after like Jem's blessing. So the Jessamine has to go through and like, hey, stop being a jerk. Do the right thing and actually propose to Tessa.
Do the right thing and actually propose. Do the right thing. All right.
Yeah.
I guess we got different, different definitions of what the right thing
is. The 1800s. So Will proposes and they plan the wedding for Will's 18th birthday. Because you got to remember Will's only 17 at this time. After the engagement, Will and Cecily travel back to their family home to reunite and share the news. So Will sees his family after 7 years. Then we get a time skip. Tessa and Will get married. They have 2 kids. Together they run the institute for many years until Will dies of old age in 1937.
I thought you were going to say at 19.
In 1937. Tessa then decides to travel with Magnus until 2008, because as a warlock, Tessa is immortal. Yeah.
Oh, of course she is.
So she's hanging out with Magnus. I think during this hanging out with Magnus, she brings Church to America. Specifically, I think Church ends up. Church ends up with like her great granddaughter in LA. If I remember correctly.
Okay.
And then until about 2008, when she goes to meet up with Jem at Blackfriar Bridge, and finds out he's no longer a silent brother because they were able to cure him, and now he can live a natural life with Tessa.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep. During it, like while he was a silent brother, they managed to cure the addiction from his body, and now they reversed the stasis they put on him, and so now he can live out a full natural life. Tessa literally gets both. 100 years apart, but she gets both. I told you it wasn't over.
There's no words. There's no words to describe how I'm feeling about this.
I do want to restate for our listeners. I do enjoy these books, and I probably will end up reading this author's other material. That does not discount how ridiculous some of the plot points that she came up with are, and how
well, here's my other question: has Jem been aging?
No, like I said, Silent Brothers don't age. Their bodies are in stasis.
So he is 19.
Yes, and she is what is that? When was she born? She is
She's in like her 90s.
She is 218 years old.
218. So has her body aged?
Nope, because she is a warlock, and also because she can shape change. Her body has stayed that of I think she might have developed like a mid-20s body, but I don't know specifically. But it does not say anything about her aging. So I assume that she's probably in like a, prime of her life kind of body for that entire time. And still. Although now Jem will start aging.
Yeah, I know. It still sucks. She's gonna have to just go through this again of losing him when he gets older.
And also, like, I remember, like, also from Will's perspective, Will grew old and died when Tessa didn't change at all.
Yeah,
like Tessa's like great granddaughter looks visibly older than she is. Which honestly is a bit of a raw deal. Why do warlocks being half demon not age and live forever, but the half angels do live out normal lives?
Is it because it's a blessing in this to be able to die with your loved ones instead of having to watch them all die?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, this is it. This is what we didn't think about with this book. The real horror behind this book is the having to watch your loved ones die as she remains 20 forever.
All right, I was a little off in her age. As of 2012, she is 150 years old.
Okay,
that doesn't make sense. No, it actually just does. Never mind. I did my math wrong. Yeah, she was born in 1862. Let's see. I'm trying to find any other information about her. Let's see. Physical description. I don't know. Tessa stopped aging at 19. Apparently, she appears to be in her early 20s.
All right. Well, there you have it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, that must have been awkward for, everyone coming in and seeing her with her husband at the time.
Yeah. Also, apparently, I'm reading ahead here. Apparently, after the events of this book, I assume, like, while with Magnus, because she's a warlock, she learns how to do magic too, not just her changing.
I mean, she's had a couple hundred years to.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, what is Magnus again? That he's still alive?
Magnus is also a warlock. Remember, he's the son of what's his name? Asmodeus.
Asmodeus, yes.
Yeah, the Asmodeus.
That's right. I did make a whole point of, I'm sorry, this man is the son of the Asmodeus, the embodiment of lust.
Are all warlocks immortal? Let's see. Yeah, all warlocks are immortal, apparently.
Wow.
I feel like there should be far more of them than there are then. Like
also, is it immortal in the you can't die from aging, or
immortal in the no aging part? I think that every time this universe refers to immortal, it's referring to the no aging part.
Okay. They could still be killed in battle. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, if we found out that she's immortal at the end, it would just be like, oh, so you were never in danger.
I'm not sure she could have been killed in battle, because one of the things that I think she does at least once, because like she's able to change into someone who has an injury. Why couldn't she change into someone who is still healthy? Like, if she gets stabbed, why doesn't she just change into not having a stab wound?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. We're now poking holes in this, though. That is just like, oh, Tessa, you better come back and look. Though I don't know how they would get away with that because now we know too much.
Also, I'm just looking at this because I was curious, like, about Magnus Bane. Apparently, he's about 400 years old as of 2008. Uh, his warlock mark, because warlocks all have like a demon-like feature, is that he has cat eyes and no belly button.
All right.
He's also apparently 6'2", which is interesting. I imagined him as much shorter for some reason.
It's because you imagine everyone much shorter.
That's fair.
You're just like, no one's as tall as me. It doesn't exist. Oh, man. Okay. Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
I enjoyed those books.
They're definitely worth the read. I honestly would rate them probably like a 7 out of 10. Good books overall. Interesting world, interesting story. Couple of tropes that get, they're gonna happen. But
listen, man, we got both sides of the love triangle canon. So I mean,
yeah,
win-win.
I think the other thing is that because this book was written after, I think this is like her second or third series. A lot of the stuff in here kind of expects that you know a little bit about the world before you get into it.
Okay.
It explains a good amount of it, but if you're going into it blind like I did, you will end up a little confused about, oh, what's this thing they're talking about? What's this, like, Shadowhunter origin lore thing that they're talking about? I assume they're explained in the other books, but they're not as deeply explained in this because they expect you to know a little bit of it.
That's pretty good though. Just the like, well, you better know. Good luck. No, I really, really fun. I'm excited for you to read the rest of them and for me to just get the like clip notes of them because I think it's going to be a very enjoyable time. And also, you got to tell me if Tessa shows up in any of them.
Yeah, and like from my understanding from the wiki, she does show up in several other books at least. I don't know if she's a main character in the other books, but I know that she is important in them.
Okay.
Yeah, I am looking forward. I think I will go in release order probably. So when we get around to it, I'll probably read where is it? I'll probably read Mortal Instruments next. Although that one is 6 books long.
Yeah, we might break that one up a little bit more than we did these 3.
Yeah.
Oh, but that'll be good.
Yeah.
That's our first full set. Oh, man. Yeah, and then for our next one, I think I have fully decided I'm going to review We Used to Live Here, which is by Marcus. I am not entirely sure how to pronounce their last name. Claywery? Kliewewer. And I saw somewhere that this book is also supposed to be getting a film.
All right.
Yes. Okay. So, Netflix acquired the film rights in 2021, but they've not done anything since. So we'll see if that actually ends up happening or not. But we'll now go from a, nice, fun YA biblical fan fiction to a trippy horror novel that is a lot of trying to figure out what in the world is going on, and I am excited to try it.
It sounds fun.
It makes sense. That's gonna be the hope, because there's a lot of fun things that they do include Morse code at the bottom of every chapter that they just don't address. They just don't talk about it. It's just there. So you're just like figuring out, and it's like 1 to 2 words at the end of every chapter that you're like, oh, there's Morse code. Hold on, let me figure it out. To the point that my copy now has a Morse code index at the very beginning that I wrote in so that I would have it to flip back to.
That sounds really cool, honestly.
Yeah, it was a fun and I'm excited to go into it. It's very similar to the book I'm reading now, where it's like a chapter to a few chapters from our main character's point of view, and then we cut away to documents. So things like newspaper clippings. There's even a couple Reddit entries in it. So it's kind of interesting that it's it brings in kind of this other evidence for you to try and figure out the mystery along with the main character. Yeah, that'll be fun. I think, unless anything changes, I'll be doing 2 books, and then we'll switch back, and then kind of go into the back and forth.
That sounds
Just
good
to give
to
you
me.
a little bit of time.
Well, time for me to decide what book to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have the whole list here, and looking at what's going on here, I think I am gonna do Legends and Lattes next. Because I did really enjoy that book, and there's a lot of tropes in there. I think they're good.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to hear about that one because I think just about everyone I've talked to that's read it has really liked it. Yeah, and you might notice in here, I have American Psycho because this is going to force me to actually go through and finish that book. Because as much as I'm probably going to get hate for this, so far within the first chapter, this is the most slog-fest horror book I've ever read.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I
It's supposed to be so good.
I have opinions on the movie, and that'll be a talk.
Yeah, I'm excited because I'll finish it and then I'll watch the movie and then see how I feel so we can have a full back and forth on that. But yeah.
All right. Do you want to read any of your writing?
Okay, this 5 pages short my last one I did, so it should hopefully not take long. Yeah, I've been still working the TMNT project, which does finally have a full title, which is Sewers and Shurikens.
All right.
And so yeah, I've posted to the Patreon both the one I'm going to read here and then the one I'll read next episode. But this one is Splinter and the mystery that is Casey Jones. So does kind of connect to that last one I read. Here we go. The first time he saw the child, he had been frantic. A quick scavenging outing had suddenly turned into a panicked search, as his second oldest had informed him of his lost son. Raphael could always be headstrong, but the thought of his oldest out on his own terrified him. But alas, Raphael was fine, and had made a friend. Keishiro Yamada had been injured at the time, so Yoshi truly didn't have a moment to understand the child. His first impression was that the child was shy, meek even. A polite child who was hurt and afraid. And as Yoshi ensured he would be able to find his way home, that was the end of it. As long as the kid didn't spill their secret, they would be safe. Even if he did, who would believe a young child about a bunch of turtles and a rat? So, Hamato Yoshi pushed the child from his mind, seeing as he was no longer a concern. Yoshi was wrong. The child had begun showing up everywhere. He seemed to have grown attached to Raphael and was constantly looking for him. It wasn't hard for Yoshi to find him, as the child was clumsy and loud. He was everything a ninja was not. The first few times Yoshi found him in the sewers, he had swiftly led the child back up to the surface. He had given him a warning of how dangerous the sewers were, and how a child like him should never go within. However, it seemed as though Keishiro was deaf to any warnings. Eventually, Yoshi conceded. He showed the young child the safest way to their den to limit the risk. If he couldn't convince the child to leave them be, he could at least try to make sure he wouldn't find them. The boy was a few years older than his sons, and it became an endearing pastime of Yoshi's to observe interactions. Each of his sons had a vastly different relationship to this young child, cared for him deeply as the years progressed. Raphael had always felt things strong and fast, and his bond to Keishiro was no different. With meeting, the boys were the best of friends, running off to catch bugs in the summer, wrestling in the den, daring each other to impossible tasks. It was nice to see someone who could keep up with Raphael's rapidly changing emotions. Keishiro flowed with them like water, adjusting quickly and easily. He also gave Raphael plenty of practice for his medical skills. The boy always seemed to show up with some new injury, which Raphael would immediately begin to treat before the day ended. Donatello was rather reluctant to befriend the boy. Keishiro was often given to flights of fancy, and Donatello's analytical mind found it quite frustrating. They were often prone to long debates where Keishiro often resorted to spewing false information, if only to irritate the poor turtle. However, as time went on, these little spats began to have an air of enjoyment to them. Keishiro clearly enjoyed riling the more stoic Donatello, while his son found it a fun challenge to prove the child wrong. As the years went by, Keishiro even began bringing down any textbooks he could find, of all varieties, for Donatello to immerse himself into. Michelangelo and Keishiro were trouble when they were together. From the start, they bonded over pranks pulled upon the older siblings. As they grew together, they began to practice skateboarding together through the sewers. Keishiro seemed to be fascinated by Michelangelo's extreme flexibility, finding new situations to put him to the test. Keishiro also brought an influence of media to Michelangelo. He would often bring old comics and manga down for him, which would keep him busy for hours on end. Leonardo was a different story. He had wanted nothing to do with the human child to start. He often separated himself from the others, casting untrusting glances towards the human boy. For a while, Yoshi blamed himself for his son's seclusion. Leonardo had always been very perceptive of others' emotions, and Yoshi didn't try all that hard to hide his displeasure of the child's initial visits. However, as the visits increased, Yoshi began to realize his second son was dealing with a bout of jealousy. Leonardo had never had to share his brother's attentions, and it was rather entertaining to watch. Leonardo went from ignoring the boy's existence to purposely being difficult on any games the boys would try to play. Yoshi could tell that Leonardo was especially frustrated by Raphael, and had kept trying to keep the oldest away from the child. This, inevitably, led to one of the many that would make up his eldest son's lives. However, once Leonardo was reassured he wasn't being replaced by Keishiro, he slowly began to open up to the child. Keishiro, for his part, took it in strides, and when the child began to grow interested in martial arts, it was Leonardo he went to, and the relationship grew from there. And once more, Yoshi's small family was at peace. The first time Yoshi felt concerned about Keishiro's presence came when he began to ask Raphael about Tang Shen's shrine. Raphael had always seemed the most connected to Tang Shen, and took on the majority of the responsibility in her shrine maintenance. Yoshi would often find him there, talking through his woes with a woman he never knew. Merely sitting in front of her picture calmed his eldest in ways he never could, and it brought such warmth and grief to his heart. Keishiro hadn't come to the lair in almost a month, and the Hamato clan had begun to get restless. The child had been such a staple, correcting my own grammar here, and the sudden disappearance was concerning. Yoshi had been debating going up to the surface at nightfall, just to check in, when Keishiro returned. The boy was different, a somber appearance to him. There were bags under the child's eyes, and his gaze was cast towards the floor. The boy barely acknowledged him, rather approaching Raphael with a strange seriousness to him, and he asked about shrines. In a moment, Yoshi understood, and a sovereign feeling invaded his heart. He understood the grief that the child was facing, and when he needed, he would be there for Keishiro. And when the child asked if his mother could sit beside Tang Shen, he welcomed it. It was within the next year when Yoshi became concerned once more. Keishiro had made himself present in their lives as normal, but he seemed off. The boy was guardedly sleep-deprived and paranoid. He would jump at any loud sound, often looking around wildly before coming back to himself. It worried Yoshi. The child had become hesitant around him, guarded, and almost fearful. Within the month that these behaviors occurred, Yoshi got his unfortunate answer. Yoshi awoke with a start, gazing into the darkness. With a glance to his watch, he found it to be 3:45 a.m. Listening softly from his bed, he could hear the sounds of footsteps entering the lair. The steps were clumsy, loud, and shuffling. If you were to guess, the intruder had an injury to their leg, giving a limp to the footsteps. Yoshi slowly crept from his bed, slinking through the darkness towards the entrance. His sons lay upon their futons around his, and though in darkness, he met the eyes of his two eldest. Leonardo and Raphael stared at him, wide-eyed and fearful. Yoshi held a finger to his lips, and motioned to Donatello and Michelangelo. The other two were still asleep, not yet trained enough to sense the danger in the air. His eldest children nodded, understanding their role. Protect the younger while father investigates. Yoshi crept from their den, keeping low. If they had been discovered, he would need to take out the enemy quickly and find the best way to relocate his family. It would be difficult. He'd grown quite fond of their little hideaway. But as he recognized the familiar shape in the dark, it was small, shuffling around, with a heavy pack on his back. Yoshi felt relief at first, before worry flooded his system. Reaching for the lamp, he flooded the room with light, startling the poor boy. Keishiro spun around towards him, a hood pulled far down his face. Yoshi watched. Relief flood the child, and his shoulders slumped. "Oh! Hi, Mr. Splinter!" "Yamada Keishiro." Yoshi watched as the child flinched back at his own name. "Why are you here?" "What do you mean? I always come to visit. You said I'm always welcome." The child was shifting restlessly. I could tell the child was struggling. His left leg was clearly giving him trouble, and the shifting wasn't helping him much. Yes, you are welcome to visit, but it is very late. We were all asleep. You should be home too. Keishiro's head lowered a bit before looking up at him through his hood. Well, I am home now. I thought that since I'm here so often, it's just stay. Yoshi's eyes widened at this. The child brought his pack forward, opening it to show the contents. The child was reassuring the silent rat that he had all he needed: clothes, his toys, his meager allowance. Yoshi shook his head, staring at the child incredulously. This is quite a surprise. But, Keishiro, you need to go home. Keishiro flinched back again, looking up once more. The lighting in the room cast shadows across the boy's face, but he could see the panic set in. No, I want to stay here. I don't want to go home. Keishiro, don't call me that. The outburst is loud and unexpected. Yoshi feels himself recoil before he can steel himself. He can see the tears rolling down the child's face now. I never want to be called that again. I'm not Keishiro. I'm not a Yamada. I hate it. Hate it. Yoshi was at a loss for words. This outburst of emotion was something that he was used to from Raphael, not Keishiro. The boy was usually so carefree and jovial. But as the kid thrashed around, Yoshi tried to reach out to calm him. But the child flinched back further from him, continuing. I hate him. I won't go back. I want to stay here with you. Angel left already. Why can't I? Why do I have to stay? He hates me anyway, so why would I be there? Okay, Mama is gone. Angel is gone. Are you leaving me? As the final outburst left the child, his head snapped up defiantly to stare into Yoshi's eyes. As he did, the hood of his jacket fell back, revealing the child's face. Deep blue and purple shaded the boy's face, and now that the hood was bunched low, he could see the faint traces from his neck. The child stared defiantly up at him through swollen eyes. Yoshi's heart felt as though it had shattered in his chest. He stared at this child who was so strong and great, a boy who always did his best even when he was grieving, a child who had wormed his way into Yoshi's small, secluded family and made a place for himself there. Oh, my son. The words left him in what could have been a sob. He felt choked by emotion, unsure of what the correct course of action would be. But those simple words seemed to open the dam. The child's eyes welled up with tears, and sobs began to erupt. The child launched himself forward and was greeted into a tight embrace. Yoshi cradled the child tightly, pressing his face into his neck. The pain and grief welled within him, as did helplessness. He knew he couldn't keep the child down here. If his father reported him missing, it wouldn't take long to find out the child had been going into the sewers, and once people began to look, they would be found. Yoshi's eyes found themselves drawn to movement, and found himself gazing at his 4 sons. Awoken by the outbursts, they each stared back towards the display. Worry and fear etched into their bodies, tears beginning to shine in them. Poor children. As Keishiro began to calm down, he slumped against Yoshi. And in that moment, he began to ask, What do you wish for us to call you now? Keishiro's head snapped towards him, his eyes glazed in tears. Casey. I just want to be Casey. He knew of this nickname. He knew this is what Casey's mother had called him. Yamada Casey? He watched the child's nose scrunch up and violently shake. No more Yamada. I'm not a Yamada. I'm a Jones. I'm Casey Jones. Ah, he could see his mother's Western influence in the name. Hannah Jones's photo seemed to stare at him from its man. Casey Jones. In the end, Casey did return home. It was impossible for Yoshi to maintain a human child down in the sewers, but he made the child a promise. He would help him find somewhere else to stay. And the chance came from Yoshi's own mother, Mizumi Hamato. Upon their next visit, Yoshi confided in her the fears and concerns he had for the child. Within the day, she had created her own plan to help the child free from the burden. She hired him as a junior caregiver. She had somehow convinced Casey's father that she had met him through a school program and that she wished for him to help care for her home. In exchange, she would pay them handsomely. In all honesty, it didn't take much to convince the drunkard to lend out his son. The promise of money was all that was needed. Jones was free of it. Now, almost 6 years later, Yoshi watched all 5 of his children with pride. They've been doing extremely well in their martial arts and were soon to begin their own adventures in this life. He loved his family so dearly, his 5 sons, consisting of 4 turtles and a Casey Jones. There we go. It is the end.
I really liked that.
Backstory lined up and such.
No notes. The only thing is I noticed, I don't know if this is just like a formatting thing, but like when it swapped into italics here, was that meant to be like a first person bit, or is that just continuing in the kind of third person that we'd been in before?
It's still supposed to be kind of a third person. The way I've been doing these kind of italics things were supposed to be, while the first kind of bit here is not really focused in on a scene, it's just kind of like an explanation. The italics is supposed to be going into, okay, this is an actual scene we're watching happen.
Okay. So it's jumping from like kind of past text into present to present tense. Then.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. Yeah, you may want to think about how a better way to uh explain that difference, because it was a bit of like a sharp jump from the the past to present. But that's my only note.
Yeah, I think what I'll probably do in the previous one, I did little what are those called? The little wiggly line. I did those to kind of break up sections. I might put those in there just to kind of
that might be good.
Give it a bit
Yeah.
more.
And again, that's just a formatting thing, not really a writing critique.
Yeah, this is the one that when Elliot read it, he was like, "So your Turtles fanfiction is gonna have some like happy, lighthearted moments, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And he's like, "Yeah, when? Don't worry about it. We'll get there. Just gotta, build up the character development first."
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
We'll get more of that back when after you when we get back to me doing a review. 'Cause I think the best way we can do this is have me do my writing while you're reviewing, and then you do your writing while I review. That way we
Sounds
can
good.
keep the workload somewhat balanced.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right. Well, with that, that was our episode. Like, comment, subscribe. You can find us on Patreon, on YouTube. And as always, you can find the write-ups of our reviews and our narrative writing up on the Patreon.
Yep, find it there first, and then, at least for the fan fictions, those are up on my AO3 at Tia Storytime about a week later.
Have a good day. Bye bye.
So long.